Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, bachcho. Today we will discuss mycoplasma. Basic properties of mycoplasma are that they are smallest free living organisms and their size is around about 0.3 microliter in diameter. Absence of the cell wall is the main characteristic of this bacteria. It's weakly gram negative because it doesn't stain because there's no cell wall. So it requires complex nutrients for the growth on artificial media and it causes atypical pneumonia which is more pronounced in this bacteria. This is a animated structure of mycoplasma where you can see that genome is there inside and all the other lobules are there, but cell membrane is only present. There's no cell wall outside. Basic classification of the mycoplasma is from the family Mycoplasmatiales and Mycoplasmatiae. It has so many varieties, but only two genera are important in the humans as medically disease-causing bacteria, and these are Mycoplasma and Ureaplasma. And there are three common. The basic difference between two is Ureaplasma produces urease enzyme, while the mycoplasma does not. So you can easily differentiate. Ureaplasma basically causes the diseases other than the pneumonia, and while mycoplasma is more pronounced for the atypical pneumonia uh, causing disease. Morphology and characteristics, they do not possess the distinctive cell wall, of the bacteria, and cell membrane is present. What is the pathogenesis? Basically, mycoplasma is transmitted through aerosols or it is through droplet infection. And it has one only serotype, which is very important and pronounced in medical microbiology. It causes atypical pneumonia and it also causes antibodies against formation of autoantibodies against the RBCs, which will get clotted into the brain and liver and other organs of the body, along with the lungs. But in the lungs, it's more pronounced as the transmission is through aerosols or the droplet infection. That's why its outbreaks are there, like in close family systems, in military barracks, and the college students which are living in the congested hostels. These conditions are more pronounced. This is the basic pathogenesis, how this organism causes the damage. Direct damage is through the adhesion damages, like when it gets adhesion to the membrane cells, and then membrane fusion damages. Then it causes nutrition depletion. Then it causes invasion of the damages, invasion, and then causes the damages. And then the main thing is the toxic production, which will cause the damage to the cell. While the indirect damage or the immune damage is that it damages your humoral immune system, it damages cell immune system, it damages the inflammatory conditions, it enhances the inflammatory reaction towards the body and will cause the damage. And then it will cause the antigen immune damages, and later on it causes immunosuppression as well. If you can see this picture, here you can see easily that this is the respiratory epithelium, and this is how your body is protecting you from the mycoplasma pneumoniae. Adhesion protein complex is formed, which will inhibit the adhesion. First of all, it will be inhibited by the cilia and the microvilli, where movements will cause inhibition of the adhesion of this mycoplasma. And then later on, when it gets adhesion to the surface receptors that are silated glycoprotein receptors, the development of ciliostasis occur, and that results in basically the respiratory failure disease. And later on, it causes the invasion of the organism in the lungs and in the alveoli, and it causes the pneumonia, atypical. As pneumonia also produces an exotoxin that called as the community-acquired respiratory distress syndrome, and it's CARDS toxic because it will you will get the disease or the bacteria from the community, and it will cause distress in the respiratory system. So they give the name CARDS, that is community-acquired respiratory distress syndrome, for the exotoxin produced by pneumonia. And this exotoxin has same capabilities like pertussis toxin. Then the mycoplasma pneumonia functions as a super antigen that stimulates your inflammatory cells to migrate to the site of the infection and release cytokines. You know that cytokines are the main, and the tumor necrosis factor are the main two things which causes the inflammatory reaction in your body. And this reaction will result in inflammatory condition or inflammatory enhancement in the body, and the tissue damage also occur because of this inflammatory process. And the interleukins which are involved are 1 and 6. Clinically, there is non-productive cough and sore throat and fever. These are the basic main symptoms here, or commonly or ordinary present symptoms in the patients. And every second patient might of the causes by the atypical pneumonia will present with the same thing, same signs. And it resolves in 10 to 14 days. Here you can see the picture. As I told you that it's an intracellular bacteria. Don't have cell wall. As soon as it's possible, it gets invaded into the RBCs. It causes the infection in the RBCs. If you see here, this one, this arrow, you can see that the normal RBCs are round and they're opaque or empty from the inside, while this one is slightly dropped, like there is a pointed end of this RBC, and inside the harboring is the mycoplasma pneumonia. What are the signs and symptoms and the clinical signs and symptoms of the mycoplasma? It will cause cough that is persistent, and then chest pain might be there. Then coryza, that is nasal symptoms, including runny nose, nasal congestion, and sneezing is there. Then crepitations, the crackling audible sounds on the chest X-ray. Then other features might be diarrhea, fever, headache, myalgias. Myalgias are the muscle pains. I hope you all know. Then bronchi, that is visible, audible on chest examination. Then shortness of breath, and then wheeze might be there. And these all are adapted because of the basic infection of the lungs and auto antibodies production. If you see this one, this is the main picture which will cover the both things, how the bacteria enter in your respiratory system. Then it harbors the cilia and the epithelium of the bronchial tissue, and where it produces, because of the H2O2 and the CARDS toxin, they causes the disease, main respiratory failure. And then the inflammatory process is enhanced by interleukin 6 and 8 and 1, and TGF factors like beta TGF factors that will enhance the neutrophils, and the neutrophil will become further enhanced by the lymphocytes, and these are the other interleukin fans which are harboring this all disease. So what will happen is that the lymphocytes, these lymphocytes will cause Ig secretion, while the T lymphocytes will cause the inflammatory cascade activation. In the clinical manifestation in the central system, they can cause headache, loss of appetite, and the mood swings. While in the overall systemically, fever and chills will be there, high fever and chills will be there. And in the skin, it causes clamminess and blueness because of decrease the amount of oxygen in the tissues. And then in the lungs, you can see the cough with the sputum or phlegm, and then shortness of breath and pleuritis, that is chest pain might be there. And along with that, in the muscular, I told you that there's myalgias, that is muscular fatigue and pains. These is also caused by the mycoplasma. In the vascular tissue, it causes low blood pressure, while in the heart, it causes high heart rate. Because there's low pressure in the vessels, you need more activity of the heart to pump the blood throughout your body. And the gastric tissues, in the gastric tissues, what it will happen is nausea and vomiting will be there. And in the joints as well, it causes pain because of the autoimmune antibody complexes which are formed. This is one of the picture of atypical pneumonia. If you can see in the basic difference on the X-ray of typical and atypical is that typical pneumonia usually confines to one lobe, and there is a whole patchy appearance at one place. For an atypical pneumonia, the starry sky appearance on the chest X-ray. Like there are small flakes on overall the chest. You can find even in this one. If you see all these Z arrows shows you that that these are multiple infiltrates causing atypical pneumonia. This type is very important and you should all know, because as far as your examination is concerned, they will definitely ask you what is the difference between typical and atypical pneumonia. And secondly, they can ask you that what are the organisms commonly causing typical and atypical pneumonia. The typical pneumonia causes caused by the strep pneumoniae and H influenza and other bacteria, where the atypical is more pronounced by mycoplasma, chlamydia infection, legionella, and viral. Out of these two, you have done already the chlamydia and legionella, while mycoplasma we are doing today, viral is only left. So you should know all these four type of organisms can cause atypical pneumonia. What are the basic difference? These bacteria are detectable on the gram stain in the typical pneumonia and grows on the standard media, while atypical pneumonia does not stain by the normal gram stain, and they are not easily culturable on the standard bacteriology media like blood or culture or chocolate culture or nutrient culture agar, where they will be grow on special bacteria media. Then the onset is abrupt in the typical pneumonia, while it may be as mild as a normal upper respiratory tract infection. And later on, it causes dry cough and dyspnea, and then you will let know that it's more than a normal sore throat. Then fever and pleuritic chest pain, cough productive of purulent, sometimes blood tinge is present in the typical pneumonia, while in atypical pneumonia, it's only cough and dyspnea. And in the early stages, as I told you, only the mild symptoms of upper respiratory tract infection or pharyngitis or laryngitis will be appearing. Later on, you will find that there is dyspnea and there is maybe disease is getting severe because of continuous cough and dyspnea. Then often it is often lobar infiltrate, as I told you on the X-ray, that in typical pneumonia, only one type of patch is there. Only one lobe will be involved. While in the atypical pneumonia, they are infiltrates and they are overall in the whole lung. They are patchy appearance or starry sky appearance. That the whole sky that is black will appear like a lung, and there are white dots present in the lung that will show you that it infiltrates or multiple infiltrates all over the lobe and maybe more than the lobe. Then there is elevated WBC count. When you will go for the CBC, there will be elevated WBC count. While in the atypical pneumonia, they will be generally milder. There was no remarkable rise in the WBC count, except of Legionella, where it will be pronounced well. Coming back to diagnosis, I just want to revise one again. What are the different typical and atypical differences between typical and atypical pneumonia? That the typical pneumonia is caused by mainly streptococcal pneumonia or H influenza or other bacteria, while in the atypical pneumonia, there is Mycoplasma, Chlamydia, Legionella, viral or the viral viruses that will cause the atypical pneumonia. Then the typical pneumonia causing bacteria are easily detectable on the gram staining, while the atypical bacteria, they don't grow on the normal culture plates, which we use in routine. They need standard and special bacteriological media to grow them, and they are not gram stained well because they lack cell wall or they have a very thin or weak cell wall. Then the main eruption is that in the typical pneumonia, there will be abrupt pneumonia. A patient will get serious infection very soon. While in the atypical pneumonia, initially it will get a mild kind of symptoms like upper respiratory tract infections, like sore throat, a little bit cough, or runny nose, or like that. And then later on, it will coincide that this typical cough and the dyspnea is getting worse and not getting better. that will let you know that you are getting some atypical pneumonia infection. Then the main difference is that on one lobe is infiltrate is there in the typical pneumonia, while in the lungs of the atypical pneumonia, the infiltrates will be heavy and they will be patchy throughout the lung, not confined to just one lobe. And the last but not the least, elevation of the WBC count is very, very pronounced, and there's a sudden rise in the WBC count in the typical pneumonia, while it will be generally milder in the atypical pneumonia, except for that of Legionella. All right. Now coming to the diagnosis, the main diagnosis, as I told you, is not through the culture media or not through the gram staining. It will be directly to the latest techniques, that is your autoimmune immune complexes detection, that is your ELISA, or through the PCR, that is polymerase chain reaction, that will detect the genome of your bacteria, and then you will come to know the diagnosis. It is poorly stained, otherwise it's gram negative. If it gets stained, it will be gram negative. But it's poorly stained, so we cannot remarkably answer or comment on the gram staining of the bacteria. Culture is not going to happen in normal culture plates like blood or nutrient or McConkey or like that. We will directly go for special media, which is EAT on agar, and it contains cholesterol. This thing is not practically happening in the labs. It is only the scientists are using only this media in the research processes in order to know what that's further and more information about the characters of this bacteria. And culture on the special media, so eat on agar containing cholesterol will be there in the research of it if you want to grow. And if you grow, it should be enriched liquid or semi-solid media with 20% horse and blood serum at 35 to 37 degrees centigrade. So we come to know that we need a culture plate, but a special one which contains cholesterol as well as the human blood or the horse blood serum for 20% of the total media, so that this organism can grow. And what kind of appearance will be there? It will be fried egg appearance on the culture. I will show you. You can see this one. This is a typical sunny side up fried egg appearance. You can see the brighter inner yellow part and you can see the hollow part outside. If you see how it will happen is that this organism, because it does not have a cell membrane, but it has a large number of internal material that is genome, it will comprise in this. And this is how it grows on the media. There is a hollow inside, and then there is a concave process outside the plate. So when you see the plate, it's like this. Peripheral zone of the agar is like this one, and this is the central part which exactly contain the bacteria. So this surface of the colony will appear like a fried egg appearance with the yellow inside and the white outside. All right, and it's a very, very round and typical. You can easily recognize it if you can get this picture. That this typical picture is only present in the mycoplasma with pneumonia or the other types. Basically, we are usually confined to the mycoplasma pneumonia, so we are talking about that. This is a very important picture as far as your OSPE is concerned. Usually they can ask you about which organism is causing this type of appearance on the agar plate, and then they will ask you what type of bacteria it causes, and what type of pneumonia it causes, or what disease it's caused by this. Then in the biochemical characteristics, only one is very important. That is your urease. All type of mycoplasmas are fermenters, but the most important is glucose and arginine that is utilized by the mycoplasma. And urea is important because you want to differentiate between mycoplasma and the ureaplasma. Both are from the same family. So what we will do is we will do urease test. If it is positive, it will appear like this pink one. Otherwise, if it is negative, it will be same like before, that is pale yellow. Okay, after the biochemicals and conventional method of diagnosis, which is not very appealing in the case of mycoplasma, mycoplasma is usually done by the ICT kits in order to auto recognize the autoantibody production, that is IgM and IgG. And for that purpose, we will go for ELISA or the immunochromatographic kits for that. But rapid and accurate result is definitely by the real-time PCR kit. As in tuberculosis cases, Mycoplasma is also have the ability to grow on the PCR kit, and we can detect its genome very well on this mycotool plasma, that is a real-time PCR kit, and final and abrupt and accurate diagnosis will be done by this one. Treatment, because it's a cell wall less bacteria, so no other antibiotic will covering it very well other than the macrolides, that is erythromycin and azithromycin, or the tetracycline. This is the only option you have. Usually people are not too much resistant to the erythromycin, and people are not the number of cases of resistant mycoplasma is not there, because people don't know at the end, once the patient is getting suffered too much, that this is mycoplasma, first of all. So they are getting off and on all the bacterial and infection antimicrobials for the treatment of this mycobacterial infection. But what is happening actually is that this bacteria is what? Cell wall-less. So no other antimicrobial will act on this one. Only you will get benefit from the erythromycin. And if the patient are resistant or allergic to erythromycin, you can move on to azithromycin or tetracycline. That will help you in case of this kind of disease. And the atypical pneumonia is to get treated by the this sort of medicine. Thank you so much. This is all. If you go outside in this slide, mycoplasma, you should know how the pathogenesis is occurring. You should know how you will diagnose the case, and you should know basic difference between typical and atypical pneumonia, which is very important. I will open now for your question and answer session if you want to ask. Hello. Hello.
ये इसमें क्या था उधर मिला सिंगल हाँ मैं गई है तो इसमें का मिला के इधर आया
If you have any question, you can ask. Ahmed, hello. Hello. I hope there is no question. That's why you people are not asking. Hello. Hello. Let's take it.